They had a lowrider sticker came out that was like a spoke, you know what I mean? It was gold spoke and had like the spinners. And I was like, dude, I got to do a coin.
That would sell so quick.
Yeah. And we can do some limited Houston stuff like
that would be tight.
Because I think that that's ultimately what's going on is because they have a shop, like there's some Rice Village people, there's people off I-10. And so even with Braxton, they with Space City, they're like, hey, there's a coin guy that comes here.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh really? He's like, yeah, he's pretty big. And I was like, is it so and so? He's like, yeah, that's who it is. And then I've seen that guy wear like Travis Scott's whatever. And so I was like, I bet he bought him from Space City because they said he did business there. But part of my whole deal is, look, Braxton, let's take all your people, let's get together. And that's the easiest way to all come up together,
100%.
Because like, look, Space City, yeah, they might have a big following. They did 2 million on certain views, but what's their
retention?
Yeah,
turnaround?
What's if you're not local, do you really know them? If you're UFC, do you not know them? You know what I mean? Like there's certain aspects like that. So like I could bring North Houston down, right? Because hey, it's a good sneaker shop. Other than that. No offense, but if you're in the Woodlands, you're not going down to Fuquay to buy
100%
$1,000 pair of shoes, or the Grails, whatever they had recently, the Yeezys out there.
Oh yeah, the Yeezy Grails,
the Nike Yeezys or whatever.
Those are so sweet. Which one? The Red Octobers?
Yeah, that's ones I would want. But I think they had 2 or 3 different ones down there.
Yeah. I mean, I agree, and I think that even something like with your business, like to me, like there's probably a plenty of coin people around here. But it all comes, I think, down to relationship, right? Like, sure, can I go to Webster and go to Webster's Coin Exchange or whatever it's called?
Yeah.
Sure, I could do that, but it's like, why would I do that if I have an existing relationship with you? I'm like, I know where it's coming from. I know who I'm helping out with business. But 3, I know that you're the guy who I can have a relationship with, and you can be like, hey, just like sneakers, just had this come across the table. This is something you're interested in.
Yeah, is it a pitch? I mean. Yeah, but really it's not, it's just
not,
a conversation.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's what good business is, and it's just good networking. Like I think that's what it comes down to, because I have a lot of, friends right here, and I recently made a friend who's a realtor, and we shot a podcast, and it was cool because he came in here and he's like, hey, I'm going to start bringing my realtor friends here, and I want you to meet them, and you can help me with content. So it's like you're scratching my back, I'm scratching yours. More people are coming. I'm introducing my people to you, and it becomes this thing that becomes bigger than yourself, which is how it should be.
Even if you're in the same space, there's room. You know what I mean? Like, you don't realize like how much money is truly out there, because what I do, you're not going to do, whether you're in coins or vice versa. And also the reach, because it's like, hey, look, my parents had this stuff, right?
Yeah.
So like, I don't want some guy that sells me, whether it's on the phone or whatever, all of a sudden, I don't want to give them access to my family.
Yeah.
Right. So what does that look like? It looks like us, hanging out a few times.
Yeah.
Seeing them at the grand opening. Hey, I'm Charlie, vice versa.
Sure.
Right. Hey, I get a good vibe. I would like to tell them more. Because it's really, you have like these coins or whatever, like this nest egg, and it's like, I know I've done well, right? Because I'm old enough to where I bought gold at $600. It's $2,300.
Yeah.
But what do I really have, right? You might have a couple pieces in there that with $20, $30 of grading that it triples, quadruples value. And so there's a lot of knowledge that comes with that. It's readily available.
Yeah.
But it's also you pick up a penny on the ground, right? It's an 1892 penny, right? You look it up and you're like, oh wow, the internet says it's it's $1 million.
Yeah.
And you're like, next slide. Oh, or a penny. You know what I'm saying? Like, so where at, and then if it is worth somewhere in the middle, how do you actually realize that money?
And so do you guys do the grading on site, or do you send it out, or how does that work with you guys?
Yeah, like we pretty much eyeball it.
Okay.
And then there's some third-party grading services. There's like 2 big ones.
What are the big ones?
NGC and PCGS.
Okay.
And so one's on the East Coast, one's on the West Coast. Have been around since '86. It's basically when the U.S. Mint cranked up legal tender.
Yeah.
This first year of the Gold Eagle program, or the Eagle program, which is gold and silver eagles. And so going back, they have coins graded. There's older holders, different generation of holders. What I'm saying, that you'll see. But I mean, it's nothing new. It's people always graded coins, but then the evolution of it, you know.
Became more novelty too, I feel like,
Yeah,
right? Like,
it's
I mean,
crazy.
you look back at the 1800s or early 1900s and stuff, people probably got them as legal tender. And then now, you know, with, regular currency now and now cryptocurrency and other currencies, now people are more like, I guess, looking at it as like, ooh, this is a precious metal that over time can potentially go up in value. Like this is really cool. So yeah, I think that's really unique. And for everyone out there, this is all stuff that I've never known. I'm learning it today. And I know we were talking earlier, kind of the comparison between this and like baseball cards. And, you know, right now on TikTok, you're seeing like a huge craze of like the unboxings and what do they call, like
Rips.
The
Rip
rips.
packs,
The rips, yeah.
rips,
So,
yeah.
and you were telling me, I guess that's a thing within the coin market too.
Yeah, it's really taken off. And so they have like chaser coins. So what's crazy is with the evolution of baseball cards, you have like the signatures and different things like that. Obviously, it's like the grading, but then signatures and things like that. And then they have the whatever like the logo ones are. There's like the Holy Grail, you know, and they really limit them. So that's carried on into coins. So when they really brought in signatures to coins, so you can't sign a coin, but you can sign a label. And so the label, you know, so there might be 1,000 of a particular coin, like that exact coin, but only 100 were graded. Well, even if you believe in the signature or not, you know, no one's signing it for free.
Sure.
You know, so giving that option, would you rather have one that's signed or one that's not? You know, more than likely the one that is, but then also like, what is that trash can out there? You know what I mean? The trash truck. It is what it is. And
Is
it
the
could be
trash can
right?
signed or is it not signed?
And which is a signature could be trash. I mean, it might be a waste of money.
Yeah.
But it's, you know, just because it's more rare doesn't mean it's more valuable is kind of what I'm getting at. You know, so knowing, like really understanding the market and what that's about. You know, they had a Hall of Fame baseball coin that came out. So you have like, you actually Hall of Famer signing this coin.
Wow.
Right?
And they just shine, just so I can understand this, you have the coin and it's graded in a plastic seal.
Yes.
They sign the seal?
So it's sonically sealed, and so you have the coin, and above the coin you have a label. That label is going to tell you, you know, what year it is, the
grade,
the
level.
grade, and things like that.
But where are they signing? On just the plastic screen?
On that strip of paper.
Got it.
Whether it's on the front or the back, there's going to be information on each. And then they also have a barcode, and so you can look it up at like their website. So like MGC and PCGS, it's really cool. You have a coin, you know, obviously something's worth only what someone else is willing to pay, but you can look at this coin and you can type in the number and it'll say, oh, you know, this is a 1986 American Silver Eagle. You know, it won't, on that particular site, it will not tell you that like there's 5 million there was 5 million minted, but it will tell you that there's like 4,200 of them in that same grade, which is like a perfect grade, right? So like it's called a Sheldon scale. So it's 1 to 70, 70 being flawless, which is kind of odd, you know, because you would think 1 to 10 or 1 through 100 or whatever. And so
I didn't know that. So what would you say is like what's the Mickey Mantle of coins that you have, or I've seen, like what's like the rare?
So Roosevelt recalled gold in 1933.
Okay.
So the 1933 St. Gaudens, that was our 1 ounce coin, or it's not necessarily 1 ounce, but it's like the largest, like 0.78 whatever ounces. So it's our $20 gold piece. It was the highest denomination that the U.S. Mint produced.
Wow.
Double eagle. You would have seen them, obviously, you know, at some point. Even the newer coins are designed after that coin, the newer gold eagles. So anyway, 1933, Roosevelt recalled gold. A handful of these got out.
Wow.
Some in private collectors, some were like illegally obtained. So like the 33 St. Gaudens is the Holy Grail.
How many are in circulation, you think?
The Smithsonian has one. There was supposedly like a few on black market type stuff. But I want to say within the last 5 to 10 years, a New York jeweler died. And so he has this vault. They go in there, trap door, fake door in the bag. They pull out 10 of those. So previously, they let one go to auction. It was like $7.5 million, yada, yada, yada. So they find this 10 of them, so they assume, okay, well, the last one went for what I think it was like 7.5 million. So, they have a cool $75 million. Now, granted, it would still be worth a lot, right?
Sure.
Because you, instead of like one of 3 or whatever, now you have like one of 13. So, of course, value might go down.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, you have this holy grail of coins. U.S. Mint never produced it, was never, you could never legally own that coin, so.
Because the tender, you said like it was another.
Because it was recalled.
Wow. Yeah. So is it considered like counterfeit money then, or was it considered just like no longer tender?
It's one of those, the government is like,
give us back that.
yeah,
We're gonna.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
Wow.
Good find. Yeah. And so they went to like court, and there's like some crazy stuff going on with it. But I still don't know if they made the ruling on it. But it was never, it was obtained illegally at that point years ago.
Well, I mean, that's like that whole argument. Have you been seeing how all these shipwrecks, like when I lived in Florida and down in the Caribbean, you have these treasure hunters and they go find like the Spanish gold and stuff. Yeah. And now the government comes in and they want their share of it. And it's like, hold on a minute.
Yeah. And now we're so corrupt that they're allowing the foreign governments to come in and claim that. Now, I'm sure there was a lot of gold found that wasn't.
Yeah, I mean,
all the books and what you could do, like it's called the Saddle Ridge Hoard. It was another find like this, but it was all coins that could have been legally, purchased, what have you, collected, hoarded, whatever. And so Saddle Ridge Hoard, they're on their like farmland or whatever, they find this tin can under a tree, has like millions of dollars of gold coins. Now, once again, do you tell someone about it? I mean, there's smarter ways to go about it.
Maybe you just show them 10%.
Yeah, right. I mean, who knows really if they found everything? It's like drug bust and money bust. Like the numbers might not always be round numbers. However, so they contact PCGS, or I don't really know that side of what happened, but basically PCGS came in. There's a correct way to clean coins, so they've been underground, and so they got them up to standard, if you will, graded them, labeled them, marketed them, so there's things like that are really cool and should be done with collections like that. But when you're talking actual real money and
millions of dollars,
and do you want the government in your business?
No, because I would assume you have to pay some sort of tax on that. I mean, everything's taxed.
Yeah.
But I would assume
pay your taxes, people.
I would assume that there's just something around that. Like, that is insane to me. But
also they can go back and they can say, hey, XYZ, right? Like this happened and there was this bank heist and this is tracked from there, and you never really know.
So my thing is like, okay, with that Saddle Ridge find, right? So you have, let's say you do have this tin coin can you literally just take that, go to someone like you, like for anyone out there who stumbles across maybe something like this, what is the correct process?
Yeah, so like you would definitely go to someone you know and trust first, kind of get an idea. You do your due diligence. You look at a coin. So they have something they call the U.S. Red Book. I want to say now they're close to 80 years worth of producing this thing. My grandfather had one. I mean, you go back 70-something years, whatever. And so it's the #1 best-selling price guide. Once again, like, what Beckett and all these other magazines, price guides used to be. It's a guide. It's a guidebook. Just like Kelley Blue Book doesn't buy cars, but they're really quick to tell you what your car's worth or range. And so you can look at that and you can identify, certain things to identify on the coin. Hey, does it have a mint mark? What is a mint mark? Okay, a mint mark is what mint the coin was produced at. Okay, where would you find that on this 1895 coin? Yada, 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 whatever. And so it's just a matter of taking that knowledge and identifying what you have first, and then reaching out to a professional or someone you trust to kind of go through those next steps. But ideally, you would take it and you would send it into one of the grading services, have it certified, comes back, and then you know exactly what the coin is, if it's ever been cleaned, if it's authentic, and then knowing the grade, is there something out there relative to what you have that, there's auction records, things like that. Ton of information out there where you can really pinpoint what you would feel like is a good value for the coin.
So back to what you're saying, like find someone you trust. I mean, just because I'm so unfamiliar with it, why is it so important to have someone you trust in this industry? Is there worries of you stealing from the person, like that person stealing from you, or like them improperly grading it for their benefit?
A few different things, yeah. Because like if we had two coins side by side, right? And if I tell you I'm going to take your coin and go have it certified, right? And your coin is a high grade, right? It could be worth, several thousands, 100,000. There's $1 million coins out there. And I can switch it out with something or just one that's maybe cleaned. Or if yours is worth 100,000, if someone's really looking to get over, I mean, what's the lengths that they would go through? But you also have to know, like, how is their business in order? What's their day to day look like?
Sure.
I mean, do I trust them? Do I get a good vibe? But it's just because you never know. You just never know. And when something's out of your possession, then that's when things can happen. You know what I mean? So, you can document it and things like that. But if it's like a treasure, like a treasure find, or you know what I mean, like underwater find, or it's been under a tree for 70 years, it might have to go through this revitalization process, if you will. I can't think of what they call it, but basically, it's a way that the grading services can clean it without damaging the coin.
Restoring
because because if you find a dirty coin and you clean it and send it in, it will be deemed a cleaned coin, and which kills the value. So you don't want to do that. So it's equally important to basically leave it, I hate to say like dirty, but once it's cleaned, and it can never go back to what it was before.
So in a world of, just ever evolving technology when it comes to even counterfeiting, right? You see it big in the shoe game, the watch game, you see it just clothing, everything. Do you see that ever in your industry? Because I know I watch a lot of sneaker videos of them doing like, is it real or dupe videos. Do you encounter that at all in your industry, and have you ever, and if you have, how is that conversation kind of with people?
So, what's crazy is how similar the industries are, right? So you have the guys that are at the shoe store, you bring it in, right? They're comfortable, they're in their environment. That one guy's slapping the bottom of the shoe, right? So it's like, he knows what to look for. It's the look, the feel, all those things. So as you're buying from reputable dealers, you're buying from the U.S. Mint, you're buying like we do with Scottsdale Mint. I have a handful of wholesalers. Though there's certain, those things are already done as far as like testing, the ability to test. There's something that looks like almost like a speed gun. It's $20,000 unit. You have the coin, whether it's in the holder or not, you put it on there and it reads it right then and there.
Wow.
Right? So that can tell you if it's real gold or not. However, knowing what that coin should weigh, the diameter of the coin, there's certain things like that that are very easy to test, but you have to know what those specifics are. But yeah, I mean, you can, was it Temu?
Temu?
Yeah, you can buy coins on there.
Can you really? Yeah. I mean, they're dupe coins.
Yeah, and they look real. I mean, you wouldn't know.
Down to the weight, or like, I mean,
not really, but you can. I mean, as long as something has value, as far back as time, I mean, people are reproducing things because of, putting a mint mark on something, taking a mint mark off something. I mean, you just have to know what to look for. But very much so, like you, Braxton, whatever, you have your own media equipment, right?
Yeah.
You're moving that light, by the weight of that light. If it's like,
someone swap this light out.
Yeah, is it crap? Is it crap? Is it quality? Right?
Yeah, sure.
Same thing with mics and camera equipment and everything else.
Have you ever had a customer come by with a coin that you've had to break the bad news to?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Either they do know and don't want to show it, or maybe they never knew.
More times than none, I'd say the first option.
Yeah,
oh, really?
But it's
this coin? Oh,
it's like
man.
Yeah, exactly. Right. But it's like Pawn Stars,
Yeah.
But also, you are buying over the years, and you might buy tubes of $20 coins, and occasionally there's a fake one in there, you know.
Yeah, that's probably a concern too. Like, especially if you buy online, that would be my biggest fear. Is like, it's like 5 real coins and then 5 fake coins.
Like when silver's $5 an ounce or was, who's faking it, right? You know, who, you know what I mean? They're like, who really cares? But when it's, you know, $30 up, going up to 50 again, possibly. When gold is at, you know, 2,300, the fake bars and things like that are very common. You know? And they're even common, I mean, at 1,000. I mean, you know.
I mean, sometimes what do? Do they take fake gold and they wrap it maybe in real gold? So on the outside, if you were to test it, it appears real?
What you'll find is, there's like a thin layer. You know? So it might even test. But you know, I mean, when you've done it long enough, I mean, it's one of those, it's like, it's not mother's intuition, but it's still like, you know, something's not right. And then when you really start looking, you know, they say the devil's in the details. You can usually, you know, see what's going on with it.
So what is given the market and given what we've seen in the real estate realm, what we see with the crypto realm, what we see with just the economy, what's your, I guess, where do you see the precious metal future looking? Is it bright? Is it bullish or bearish? Are you thinking for this next couple of years?
Very, very bullish. And the reason being is because metals do well in times of uncertainty.
Okay.
And you could look around and, I mean, what is certain in this world? You know, there's a few certainties. We might have a certain opinion on who's running the country and where we're headed. However, right, we don't want to put a target on our back. But no, I meant, you know, as long as we're printing the dollar and we're funding all these countries and whatever's going on, whether you agree with it or not, as we print more dollars, there's nothing backing it. It's worthless. The debt is so insane. You know, I mean, just if you've ever watched the debt ticker, it's like, it doesn't even look real. And then it doesn't even seem real. And, but like you could look at gold. Gold's $2,300 an ounce, round numbers. Silver's right under $30. I think it was like $28 ish. And so gold is at all-time high. So people might be a little bit weary of buying gold at all-time highs, but it is going higher. And then with silver, it's been as high as, like, you call it like $50 for round numbers. And so there's still a lot of upside there. It becomes a storage issue. We spoke about that earlier. Is when, you know, it is portable, it is private, so there's a lot of things it has going for it. But also, if you have a ton of silver, you know, it's not very easy to hide or bring with you, and all these things. And if you're really buying it for the reasons that most people buy precious metals for, you're storing it at your home or somewhere, you're keeping it out of the banks.
What about platinum? You don't hear platinum very much. Do people buy platinum, and is there any value in platinum?
So great question. So platinum at one point was as high as $2,400.
Okay.
There's industrial uses for it, but as technology and all these things get, you know, improved, you know, some of those industrial uses, you know, there might be alternatives or what have you. You know, gold is great as well. You know, it's not. But anyway, but with platinum, it's so rare that there's high premiums. So they do have platinum coins, and they typically have a lower mintage. They're not producing as many, but it's visually it looks like silver, so it's not as sexy. You know, there's platinum chains and all this. It's still very, you know, jewelry that's very sought after. But on the platinum side, you know, it's cheaper than gold.
Okay.
So as it's this price, whether it's suppressed or just doesn't have the
use case,
I guess just because it's not as sought after, it's not in the limelight like they push gold, you know, then for now it's just kind of there. You know, I recommend everybody, if you have enough gold and silver, you should have a little platinum as well.
Okay.
But it goes back to the buy. But if you look at the base metal price versus what you pay for it, there's a higher premium because of what it costs to produce.
Okay. So Charlie, if I have $1,000, you know, let's just say every quarter that my wife and I save up for other means of investing. I already have my 401k maxed out, or I don't want to do my 401k, or I don't want to do real estate, and I just want to keep my cash on hand and I want to keep it in the bank. But now I'm seeing the market and I'm realizing, like, okay, I need to put this somewhere that's a little bit more tangible. If I had $1,000, what would you refer or recommend me doing, I guess, with that $1,000?
So what I tell my clients, call me first.
Okay.
Call me first because we're always getting stuff in.
Okay.
There's stuff that's not always on the site. There's deals that I have working. And so that's part of working with someone one-on-one, the benefit of that, right? So you truly get like, hey, what's going on with that? And then if you're doing that, right, so I might have some product that whether I pay too much or I just want to get rid of it or I don't really want to put it on the site because it's old, crappy looking silver bars, it's not that marketable, that might be something I want to put you in, right?
Okay.
But it's like what works for you? What are your goals? Like if you just want, look, I want the best bang for the buck, right? You're going to buy cheap silver, in whatever form that comes in. However, it always goes back to the buy. So if you have a dealer that they only deal in wholesale, they're always paying the market plus. But if you have someone that has individual clients and buys from the public, things like that, then there are those buys that just happen, what I mean, that you can really buy behind the market. Not necessarily always on the bullion side, but it might be like a really nice coin,
Interesting.
And it's just like timing, right?
Yeah. So do you ever is there ever like some rule of thumb, like, oh, you should have 10% gold, 20% silver, but like, what's like a good, like, what would you recommend is like a good safety net, if you will, of
People will tell you that. I believe you should have both, but if you're just getting started, don't overthink it. Just buy something. Like, for instance, if you have $100, right, you would buy like a silver round. Round is a design on a coin, or maybe not, but it's not legal tender, but it's 1 ounce, like 999 silver. Then you buy a silver eagle. Well, that round might be like $30. The silver eagle might be $32, right? You're paying a premium, but why? And then you might want to buy like silver bar or something like that. Even a small piece of gold. And then, what makes sense for you and your family? Educate yourself. You need a general understanding of what you're buying and why, right? So if you're buying from someone and they need to be able to tell you what you're buying and why.
Yeah.
Right? And the why might come from you, but if you're spending time and having that relationship with them, they know. So at the end of the day, you're sleeping better at night. You have a general understanding of what you have. And then you can pull that out and you sit with the wife and the kids. Hey guys, what do you like, right? What do you think was our best purchase here, right? Because there's times like right now where silver eagles have heavy premiums, right? So, that silver round you purchased may have only been, $2 over spot price, right? But now that silver's jumped up a lot, that $2 kind of got lost somewhere along the way. Yes, it's still worth more than what you paid for it, but however, that premium you paid on that silver eagle is demanding that much more of a premium on the back end.
Where do you see the price of silver in the next 2 years going? Or coming
$40.
down to? $40.
Yeah. Silver will get up to 50 again. Gold probably could easily go to $3,000.
Wow.
I don't think a lot changes there. Between 2,300 and $3,000, I don't think a lot changes in the world for gold to go to $3,000.
Now, so you were in business during COVID. Did COVID help or hurt the precious metal?
Very much helped.
Really?
It helped, but there were certain mints that, like whether closed down or slowed down production, and so premiums were really high.
Wow.
So there are some clients that purchased during that time that that's what they wanted.
Yeah.
There were some really good buys there because there are also some people liquidated. We're always looking to purchase from clients. We want to, number one, with a new client, we're like, hey, what do you have, right? Day one, you might not want to tell me what you have, but after we have a general understanding of, we can trust each other, and, it goes both ways. We very much tell clients, no, you should go somewhere else, right? It's just not a good fit. Yeah. We're very much a boutique type precious metals company. So as you get further into what we do and see on the day-to-day, we have those things that we can buy, we can pick up for everyone, we can order it. We're not really into that as much. Like on the bullion side, we're not just gonna have every piece of bullion that you can pick up. There's better bullion, if you will. But not only that, we focus more on like the rare coin side of things. So
for everyone out there too who might be interested, are you the type of dealer to where, I know we talked about the Trump coin earlier, right? Or like these novelty coins that I see online. Could I call you and be like, hey, Charlie, I'm really interested in getting this coin. Can you source it? Or are you guys in the business of doing that? Or is it just...
Yes and no.
Yeah.
If it's a new coin coming out and you're really in the know, you're like, hey, man, I see this is coming out. I know you guys, they're going to have 500 of them. I know you guys are going to get a few, right?
Sure.
Friends and family, let me, what can I get? then I would be like, hey, yeah, for sure. You know,
Yeah.
it's like we talked about the Trump GTA coin, right? So the first one, he's out in front of Mar-a-Lago and maybe a Lamborghini on that one. I'm not quite sure. The second one, he has a gun on one side, Mar-a-Lago on the other.
Of course.
The second round was him outside of a strip club in front of a Lamborghini. We did not pick up that coin. If you were to like, hey, my wife's cool with me getting this Trump coin, I'll say cool.
Let me source it
You know,
for
I'm
you.
not going to ask you, right, if your wife approved it or not. However, there's some coins that we stay away from just because of, you know, who I am as a Christian, who our company is, and the image it wants to portray, and what have you. But all, you know, the certain level of integrity we want to work with them. But also, we do a lot of novelty coins, cool stuff. Spider-Man coins, you know, there might be some Marvel type stuff. I mean, it just really depends. I'm 44. I've been collecting my whole life. I've been in the industry for a long time, so I know what does well. So even though it's novelty or not, if it will do well in the market, then it's something I'll usually take a chance on.
What's like I guess last question, but is there any like meme coins or anything that you see becoming an actual
They had
trend?
like Dogecoin.
Really?
Was a big thing, yeah, when Doge spiked and all that, and
Wow.
different meme coins, and I mean it's crazy.
Yeah, so talking about that, I guess real quick. I know you always see like the Ethereum, or I've seen like Bitcoin gold coins. Is there a trend behind that where people are buying like tangible?
It is, but it's more of a novelty piece.
Okay.
There's no it's the intrinsic value of that coin. Typically, that coin it might be silver with like gold plating. So what's it really worth? Not much at all. Braxton and I shot. There was a United Crypto States coin.
Okay.
So it's a newer series. Not really sure if we're gonna dive into it too much, but it has like it says like 1,000 Satoshi on the back, and so it had like a 0.0001 Bitcoin. Which I did the math, it was like 64 cents at the time. But nonetheless, it was like binary bull, so there's like zeros and ones on the bull.
Oh, nice.
Limited mintage, they only did like 2,000 of them. They had that version, but it was like what looks like an Indian head nickel in 1 ounce form. So the binary bull was 2 ounce, the Indian head was 1 ounce, but same thing, had the Satoshi on the back with the fraction of Bitcoin. That they did like 2,000 of those, but nonetheless, cool piece. One of them was like $99. One of them was around 200. So.
And do you guys buy silver and gold? Just like if I were to bring my necklace to you, do you guys buy like that or only in
we can
coin?
help source that.
Yeah.
But it's more of like a favor. You know, we're not like, hey, we buy gold and silver. You know, we're more so white gloves. You know, come in.
Yeah.
We'll take care of you. Like, let's figure out where you're at and where you want to go. And then not only that, to help you realize really where you're at. And that means like, oh, I've done, you know, hey, I bought $10,000 of gold. Okay, well, when did you buy it? Well, I bought it in 2011. Okay, well, you know, if it was 2013, metals had dropped, you know, gold had dropped 28% at that point, right? So 2 years later, that 10 grand wasn't worth 10 grand. Wow. However, if you would have bought in 2013 when it dropped, and now it's, you know, 2024, you're probably in a better position than you think.
Interesting.
And then at the same time, premiums, right? So if you bought during COVID, you may have, the silver spot may have been close to where it's at today, but what premium did you pay for that coin? If it was $30 and you paid a $5 premium, you're behind, right? If it was, you know, $30 and you paid, you know, $2 premium on a Silver Eagle or something like that, even though spot price didn't catch up with the current premiums, you're still in a good position.
It's good to know. Cool. Well, Charlie, thanks for stopping by, man.
Yeah.
We're over here at the TAOK Creative Studio. We're having our grand opening the 18th, which is this Thursday. I don't know when this video is going to be filmed, but please come back anytime, man. We're happy to have you.
Braxton's really good. He could probably get out a version of this tomorrow, I would imagine, that way. Pre-grand opening, but that's part of the reason. Thanks for having us, because
of course.
As soon as, you know, I randomly found Braxton on Instagram, and it just felt right, reached out, instant connection. And so when I saw your content on his page, I was like, yeah, dude, number one, I'm in. Number two, let's get over there. Because he was like even talking about some of the things you're like, man, this costs X. I didn't realize like internet with a building. I was like,
yeah.
Dude, let's go. Let's put in. Let's like obviously, look. You have to be aware of those things as a business owner.
Of course.
At the end of the day, look. $300 is $300.
Yeah.
But it's like, how can we all come up? How if we're all like minded and we're all here to serve the Lord and our own ministries and our own testimonies.
I love that.
Then let's go. And that's why we had to get over here like now. So,
yeah, no, I mean,
thanks for having us.
No, I've been so happy to open these doors and get people in here. And yeah, I mean, if you're a small business owner like Charlie and you're trying to have a space that you can come, feel welcome, feel just comfortable in yourself, and get sweet content for your personal pages, your websites, we're happy to have you. And man, I'm looking forward just for this partnership and for you to come by more. And I can't wait for you to bring coins for the grand opening, because I'm definitely going to be purchasing some, because I need to, diversify more of my my funds. So, yeah, no, this is exciting, and yeah, I'm happy to have you guys here.
Well, dude, thank you. And the flip side of that is like when you're asking me, how do you know how you trust somebody and all those things? I give the very long-winded answers, but it's the same with like meeting Braxton, meeting you. How do I know like marketing? Media, the people I can trust. Sometimes you don't know. Sometimes you have to try it out, right? You have to throw some cash at it, right? But at the same time, knowing like, pray on it, shake somebody's hand and look them in the eye, and you'll find out really early on. You should, right? If you're not like a good reader, then eventually they'll show. But when you have a space like this and it's for, business owners and things like that, that's come in.
Yeah.
Word travels very fast.
It does, and I think it all comes down to, like you were saying, the handshake and all that, but discernment too, right? And I know a lot of the times with me, it's like I literally have to bring things honestly before the Lord sometimes. Yeah. I'm like, God, like I'm having a hard time figuring this one out. Can you kind of help me on this? And it's been good so far. I know that I found Braxton. We went to high school together, but I found Braxton on Instagram. I didn't know he did social media and content creation stuff. And I hit him up. We went to lunch one day, and I was like, "Hey, dude, like, I love what you're doing." And I was like, "Wait a minute, we went to high school together." And I've hired him to do some social media content for me here, just because now as a business owner, I'm wearing so many different hats, right? Yeah. And I was like, dude, I just need help.
Got to delegate.
I need just help in getting off.
That comes with paying somebody to do it.
It should, right? And I think that the best people to pay are your friends sometimes, right? Like, I'm all for helping people out and, hey, just come use my space. I got you. But, it's also nice to help your friends' businesses grow too, because that's how friends should work. You want to all come up together, like you said.
You're building a community. And so I worked for some other companies that we had successful social media pages and things like that. And, nothing's new under the sun, right? So no reason to recreate all those analogies, whatever. And so what you see is there's certain accounts and people that came up together, right? Yeah. And they just did it the right way, and it was fun, and it wasn't like poaching each other's clients. It's not like, let me go see who you're following and follow every single one of them. No, it's like, let's really put in the work together, let it flow, like we're in like flow states or whatever it is. And it's just when it comes natural like that, then people are gonna gravitate towards you anyway. Absolutely. And having this awesome space, I mean, like this was a space that I intended to build out 4 years ago. So seeing this warehouse, right, we ended up just throwing a basketball court in, but nonetheless, to see this the way it is and what it's going to become, and I'm happy to just be a fan.
Yeah, no, I mean, hey, you're no longer a fan, you're a friend.
Yeah, right? Yeah. And but remain a fan though.
No, it's really cool, man, and I'm really just kind of at this point just buckling my seatbelt for this roller coaster ride with the Lord. And like I said, I want this to be a ministry and a place where people can come and make it their own, right? Like this space is just as much yours as it is mine, right? I'm just a steward of this space.
So what are the spaces here?
Yeah, so right now we have this warehouse space that we're in, which is our main room. It's a photo, video, room. There's interchanging walls that you can use for different setups. Right now we're on the black wall, right? But if we wanted to bust this wall, we could have taken our third wall that we made, put it right here, and we could have had a room.
Like
right?
if you wanted gloss instead of this flat.
Yeah, like if Braxton went to the other one, we could have used more of the matte color. But this came out good, and so we have this room, and we have a bunch of refreshments, a mini fridge. We have photo paper backdrops over there, and then if you go into our other room, we have, if you've seen our past content, a podcast room that we've made, but it also doubles not only as a podcast room, but a talking head room for anyone who's trying to get into YouTube or anything with just talking head. I know that's like the popular thing right now is just content batching, right? To where, you know, you have a teleprompter or you just memorize your notes or whatever, and you get the camera, press record, and you bring 3 different outfits and you make 10 different videos in an hour, depending on how good you are behind that same background, uniform background. So we have that space available, and we have a teleprompter if you need it. And yeah, so it's really just a space that you can use. We can move a lot of this stuff to where if you want to have a quinceañera, if you want to have a networking event, if you want to have a birthday party here, whatever you want, we can accommodate what you need in this space.
Yeah. I think it's cool because it very much becomes kind of a version of what we're doing, boutique, right? Because it's not just a warehouse where you're like, hey, you know, let us know, we'll paint the walls for you. No, we have it set up, right? We built it out the way we feel like it should be built out, right?
Sure.
And it's very user friendly, and so we're excited to get in there in the podcast room. And then at the same time, we have like some whatnot videos and things like that.
Yeah.
So when we do those, we can even bring in guests, and if we're ripping packs, like
I think that would be the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, you know, if we rip a big card, we need some people to come in with a confetti gun, and
we could do whatever. And I mean, what's cool is
that.
we even have some top-down rigs too, right? To where if you wanted your camera to where you're talking to the camera and then your B camera is your hand cam, we could set that up for you.
That's what we're looking to do, and that's why I was telling Braxton that we really, part of the reason why we hired Braxton, because I was like, look, I know that he's, you know, like when it's not that he's that much younger, but when you're the old man, you're like, oh, this young guy can do it all.
Young buck, yeah.
So I was like, you know, with coins on whatnot and things like that, as you're running the show, you very much need that down cam, right? You know,
of course.
If you present well, right? So you want to look and talk to the, you know, your audience and what have you. But then at the same time have that down cam on the actual coin, because when the details of the coin truly matter, then you know, then you can be the best looking man or woman if you want, you know, whatever on camera, but the coin is what.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you're just complimenting that video. The coin is what the whole, everyone really.
Yeah, you got to entertain, song and dance. Yeah,
sure. Yeah,
but the tap shoes got to tap.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I love that. Yeah, and I think you're right on the money with that, and I think that this is a great space to do all of that, and that's kind of why we made it too. Like I was saying earlier, I mean, I've had clients to where I've been meaning to go shoot in a studio, and I had to drive up to Houston to do that, or, you know, there just nothing was similar or up to par to what I needed in the area. So I just felt like, you know, if not who, it's going to be me. You know, if not you, then who?
Yeah.
And here I am, and in debt, and with a smile on my face, ready to open the doors and hopefully make a successful business out of this. But I think it will, you know, do really well, because I truly believe that if the Lord gives you vision, He will give you provision. And
for sure,
that's where I'm at.
And
man.
I like merch, man. So, you know,
Thank you.
I'm down to help you promote. And,
yeah, no,
you know.
for sure. I got to go pick up hats today. I got my hats coming in for the grand opening, and we have our first rodeo sweatshirt, because this is a wild ride, and I thought, why not call it just a rodeo, right? Living in Houston, so we have our first rodeo merch that will be dropping soon, and yeah, I mean, vice versa. If I can do any cross promotion with you for anything, like, I would love to help you out. So
yeah, I'm a shoot from the hip kind of guy. So
Same.
When we came down here, we had no plan other than getting in the doors, and we got in the doors.
Yeah,
saw the rooms. But yeah, I'm anxious to get in the other rooms and do some stuff. I mean, when you have cool stuff and you run a good business, it kind of it speaks for itself, you know.
Sure.
And it's just around being around the right people, and then with where you and Bryson come in is, you can have all these things just be as perfect as you want, but how do you turn that into the media side? How does that really reflect?
Yeah.
And you have to work with someone that truly understands you and wants your message to get out there correctly.
And someone that can trust your vision, right? Like someone who's not gonna be like, oh, no, Charlie, I think we should do it this way. I think the red looks better than the blue, but your logo is blue. But it's like, no, it's like you want someone who will foster that same appreciation and love for your business as they would theirs. And
but love you enough to say, hey, look.
No, of course. I don't think that's a good.
I got this, and you go get the coins. Let me set it up.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, we'll rerun it. But just trust me.
100%.
And you have to have that confidence, and that's what we bring to the table on the coin side.
Yeah.
Hey, look, we know coins. Like,
let us.
You bring your cash. I'll make the recommendation. Ultimately, at the end of the day, it's your money, your decision. But then you live with that. I mean, and we're cool with that.
And do you guys ever buy back?
Yeah, we do.
Does that ever happen, or probably not?
More times than you would think.
And what's the reasoning?
Someone might just like, hey, I bought silver. It was $20. Now it's $30. On some of these bigger pieces that I really didn't want. Or, hey, you recommended a while back that I should buy this. It's cheap. And then when the market goes up, we can roll it into something else, something that's more of my recommendation. So when it comes to fruition and things like that, comes time, then I want them to realize that, like, it's not just a pitch, you know what I mean? Like, hey, we buy and sell, like, it's fun, and also you might say, hey, man, I have this silver Trump coin, I want the gold one, but I don't have any cash. I'm like, all right, dude, grab some silver. We'll roll it into the gold Trump coin.
No, I like that too. How you can bring your whole collections, consolidate, and then even just bring cash and do some sort of exchange. I like that.
But knowing what you have is so important. So like we do free evaluations, you know what I mean? So that's big. And so we get all the time it's like, hey, can you tell me how much this penny's worth? Yeah, it's worth a penny, right?
Yeah.
And so we're very much more of a boutique type, precious metals company. So, we stick within like gold, silver, coinage, rare coinage, right? And then like even the bullion that we buy or that we sell for the most part, it's the way it's sourced. It's usually sourced like through like Scottsdale Mint, something like that. They have great reputations, really cool looking pieces. It might even be like a bar, but it could be like limited or like a sold out.
I love that.
Piece, so.
Cool. Well, hey, man, thanks again, and looking forward to the future.
Yeah, thanks, Kyle.
Thanks, Braxton. Appreciate you, man.
We love you, Braxton. You're great.
Braxton Radcheck Media.
Made it all happen. Go follow Radcheck Media.
Yeah, no, seriously. In all seriousness, I mean, I couldn't have had those sweet transitional videos that got all those likes and all those people saying, man, your content's gone a lot better. Well, the reason my content's gotten better is because of Radcheck Media, and the man behind the camera is the one who's been pulling on the strings. So thanks, Braxton.
Now your turn to say something.
Give me affirmations. Give me affirmations.
He's been all right for us too.